Barcelona stunned after winning La Liga. Just days after clinching the league title, Hansi Flick's side suffered a shocking 1-0 defeat against Alaves at Mendizorroza. Ibrahim Diabate ended Barça's incredible 11-match winning streak, while the Catalans completely failed to register a single shot on target. But that's not all. Hansi Flick explains why he rotated the squad heavily, praises young debutant Álvaro Cortés after an impressive performance, and reveals why Wojciech Szczesny returned to the starting 11. Meanwhile, Barcelona's transfer plans have taken another huge blow. Top winger target Anthony Gordon has reportedly agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich, while Newcastle demand a massive fee that could completely destroy Barca's hopes of signing him this summer. Will Barcelona bounce back stronger next season? And is Bayern about to steal another major target from the Blaugrana? Watch until the end for all the latest Barca news, transfer drama and post-match reactions. Barcelona fell to defeat in their first match since clinching the La Liga title, as Alaves secured a 1-0 victory at Mendizorroza. Ibrahim Diabate's goal in first-half stoppage time was the difference between the teams, and it brought to an end the Catalans' 11-match winning streak in the league. As per Diario AS, head coach Hansi Flick gave his thoughts on the defeat when he spoke to the media in his post-match press conference. He explained why he made 8 changes to the side that won in El Clasico, which also expressing his disappointment at losing their chance to finish on 100 points. We wanted to give minutes to the players who had played less. In the first half, we controlled the game, but it was not an easy night. They are fighting for survival and it is normal. I'm happy with what I saw. We wanted to win and reach 100 points. It wasn't possible, but I've told the players that I've seen things that I liked. I'm disappointed not to reach 100 points, but we have to accept it. Flick compliments Cortés after impressive debut. One of the few positives Barcelona can take from the defeat was the performance of debutant Álvaro Cortés. The defender stood out among his teammates and this impressed his manager. It was his first game. I saw him with confidence on the ball. He has made his debut because of how he trains. That's what I want to see from the Barça athletic players, that they give their all in training with the first team and play well in the reserve team. I like what I had seen and that's why he played. Flick explains Szczesny's start decision. Another of the players drafted in at Mendizorroza was Wojciech Szczesny, who started for the first time in over 6 months. Flick revealed that the Pole was brought in to allow regular starter Joan Garcia to rest. Hansi Flick explained after the match that Barcelona had played 3 games in a short period, so the coaching staff decided to rest Joan Garcia for this fixture. However, the goalkeeper is expected to return for the final 2 matches of the season. After securing the La Liga title against Real Madrid, it was always expected that Barcelona would rotate the squad heavily against Alaves. Flick ended up making 8 changes to the starting lineup from El Clasico. In reality, the result did not carry major importance for the champions, but the players still had a responsibility to show intensity and professionalism whenever given the opportunity. For younger players like Rooney Bargi, matches like this were another chance to impress Flick and prove they deserve a bigger role in the future. Champions flat as a pancake. It really was only to be expected from the Catalans. Nothing at all to play for, no need to push any harder than was necessary. Supporters couldn't really expect too much more than what Barca produced on Wednesday night. There were a few passages of play when the visitors exhibited their wonderful passing game, but in truth, they were few and far between against an opponent playing with much more urgency, given their need for all 3 points. Positive contribution from Álvaro Cortés. The game allowed Flick to give 1 or 2 fringe players a run out, and Álvaro Cortés can be happy with his debut contribution on the night. Calm in possession, strong in the tackle and authoritative when necessary, he certainly didn't disgrace himself alongside Pau Cubarsí. Whilst it's far too early to determine whether he could seriously challenge the first-choice partnership of Cubarsí and Gerard Martin, Cortés has put himself in the picture for further consideration. No bite up front. Even though Alaves were desperately fighting to avoid relegation, Barcelona's attacking display was still extremely disappointing. The clearest sign of their struggles was the fact that Hansi Flick's side failed to register a single shot on target throughout the entire match. From the opening stages, it already felt like one of those frustrating nights where Barcelona could have continued playing for hours without finding the back of the net. Alaves defended with incredible determination, often keeping several players behind the ball to block every possible attack from Robert Lewandowski, Marcus Rashford, and the rest of Barca's frontline. At the same time, Barcelona's attack simply lacked creativity, sharpness, and intensity. It ended up being one of the weakest offensive performances the team has produced in recent seasons, with the absence of any real threat in front of goal perfectly highlighting their lack of cutting edge. Meanwhile, Barcelona could also be losing ground in the race to sign Anthony Gordon. Recent reports claim that the Newcastle winger has already agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich, putting the German club in a much stronger position to complete the transfer. According to TalkSport, the Bavarian Giants have made significant progress in discussions with the Newcastle United attacker, although the deal is still far from complete because of Newcastle's huge financial demands. It must be remembered that Barcelona have been monitoring several wide attacking options, with Gordon emerging as one of the names appreciated internally. However, despite the interest from the Catalan side, a move to Camp Nou has always appeared highly difficult because of the financial package involved. Extravagant fee involved. The report suggests Newcastle value Gordon at around £75 million, €86 million, or potentially even more, while Bayern are hoping to complete the deal for closer to £55 million, €63 million. That gap remains one of the biggest obstacles preventing an agreement between the clubs. For Barcelona, the situation appears even more complicated, given the club's well-known financial limitations and the overall cost attached to the operation. Newcastle in strong position. As things currently stand, Barcelona's chances of signing Gordon this summer are described as extremely unlikely. The winger remains under contract with Newcastle until 2030, placing the Premier League side in a very strong negotiating position. Reports indicate the former Everton player could cost somewhere between €75 million and €85 million, figures considered far beyond Barcelona's current financial reach. Because of that, the Blaugrana are unlikely to actively pursue the operation unless there is a major shift in Newcastle's demands or the club's own financial situation. Even Bayern Munich, despite already agreeing personal terms with the player, are struggling to satisfy Newcastle's valuation. For now, Gordon's future remains unresolved, but the latest developments suggest Bayern Munich have moved into the strongest position, while Barcelona's hopes have faded because of the enormous financial demands involved in the deal. What a crazy night for Barcelona fans. Despite already securing the La Liga title, Barça suffered a frustrating defeat against Alaves and officially lost their chance to reach the historic 100-point mark under Hansi Flick. The attack looked completely toothless, the champions lacked intensity, and not even Lewandowski or Rashford could save the team from an embarrassing performance. However, there were still positives. Young defender Álvaro Cortés impressed massively on his debut and may have just earned himself a future role in Flick's plans. And the transfer drama keeps exploding. Anthony Gordon is now reportedly closer than ever to joining Bayern Munich after agreeing personal terms, while Barcelona are falling behind because of Newcastle's enormous asking price. Can Barca recover from this setback? Will Bayern hijack another Barcelona transfer target? And could Álvaro Cortés become the next surprise star at Camp Nou? Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment your thoughts below.